Hello, Mid-American gardeners. We're glad that you have joined us for the show. We're going to talk about all things fall, plants, insect diseases, herbaceous things, whatever comes up. That's what we're going to talk about. So thanks for joining us. I'm Dianne Noland, and I teach horticulture at the University of Illinois in the Crop Sciences Department. So my areas that I might cover would be perennials and maybe cut flowers. But we have three experts here as well, and they're going to talk about things in their area of expertise, and hopefully we'll field some questions that go right along with them. Well, I'm going to throw it over to you first, Dr. Don White.
Oh, thank you. My name is Don White. I'm an emeritus professor of plant pathology from the University of Illinois. While on the faculty, I taught introductory plant pathology for years and years and years, had lots of really good students, and diseases of ornamentals and diseases of field crops, and did research on corn diseases. And more recently, I've become a master gardener, which has been a real joy for me, and I think it would be for a lot of people. And I have a show and tell. I could have brought a bigger one, but I decided that might not work. If you look at this is heart rot, okay? And what happens, this just happens to be a sugar maple, but the maples, well, a lot of times will have heart rot kinds of things, and a number of other tree species. What will happen is you have a limb that dies, doesn't get healed over. There's an open wound. The water gets in, the fungi follow. And I left something for Phil over here because, see, then what will happen is the carpenter ants move in and make it home, and they'll kind of help dig out some tunnels and whatnot. So, yeah, he's not holding up his end there. But anyway, I'm bringing this along tonight because on October the 20th, I will be doing a program, Champaign County Master Gardener program, that will be environmental damage affecting trees and outdoor landscapes. And this will be at the Extension Office, Country Fair Drive in Champaign. Now you may register for this, and I think the registration is going to come up, maybe. If not, you can register by just going to Champaign County Master Gardener, the homepage, look on the right side and go down, and you will see something, environmental damage affecting trees and outdoor landscapes. Now what we're going to have is at 6:15, there will be a discussion of master gardeners talking about the things that they've learned being a master gardener, and they're trying to allay the fears that some people have about doing this. Don't worry, I still don't know the difference between a lot of these herbaceous ornamental flowers. So, you know, it doesn't make any difference about your background. You just have to be prepared to come and learn. And then at 7 o'clock, I will be doing something that's entitled Environmental Damage Affecting Trees and Outdoor Landscapes. My alternative title, because I've been kind of toying around with lions and tigers and bears, oh my, it's become root rot and heart rot and cankers. Oh my dead tree.
Oh,
so,
okay.
You can come, figure it out. You get to see what's happened with trees. We got a lot of them dying, and it isn't all one of those darn boars. So come on out. It'll be a fun night.
Very good,
the 20th.
Thanks.
You have to register by the 16th.
Okay.
Now, if you cannot find the web page, just dial 333-7672. 333-7672. I'll probably get in trouble for giving out. I hope I get a lot of calls.
Well, then I'll make you really get in trouble because it's a 217 number. So then they get it. Because people can call from all parts of the state and come for it. It's well worth it. Thank you, Don, for that and for bringing the heart rot sample too. And Phil gets to have a complimentary one to take home and cherish. So he's really excited.
Put it in his collection, I can tell.
I'm sure. Well, from here, we're going to go to Paula Blakely. Hi, Paula.
Hi. My name's Paula Blakely. I am a horticulturist at Illini IFS Farmtown. And I brought in something I found in my own yard this week, and it is a giant puffball mushroom. It's also called Calvadia gigantea. They are found in North America and Europe. They can get 4 inches to 30 inches wide. Some have reported seeing sightings of up to 5 foot. So
wow,
they can get huge. They grow in fields, meadows. Mine was growing underneath a maple tree, so they do not grow on wood like some mushrooms do, and they are edible. And these you can tell if it's not a, did you see the little puff come up?
Yeah, I saw the puff.
Okay, this one is way past eating time. This one's not going to go home with anyone, but if it was a poisonous mushroom, the Amanita, it would have had gills like you would find underneath a mushroom cap on it. So, but if you would open this up and it was white
Lift that
and
up
creamy,
just a little bit. Yeah.
if you opened it up and it was white and creamy, you would know it's the time to harvest it. I left this going for a while because I wasn't sure how long it would last in the house, but those are the spores.
That is still quite an impressive size.
Yeah.
Just won't be eaten. So make sure you know what you're getting before you try that.
Yeah.
One thing to do, I always tell people, the thing to do is just make sure they come in a package from a grocery store.
Oh, okay. There we have it. All right. Thank you, Paul. Very interesting. And now next to me, I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Phil Nixon. Phil.
I'm Phil Nixon. I'm an extension entomologist with the University of Illinois. And, you know, we could do a tag team with Don with aphid lions, water tigers, and woolly bears, but all insects common in this area. Oh my! With his wood, there is some damage associated with carpenter ants coming in, and then borers have taken advantage of the opportunity. In nature, nothing goes to waste, and so they're helping bring in more rot into the tree and help recycle that wood back into nutrients that something living can use. But I've got a email from Larry from Rantoul, and he says, I watch your show every week and have a question. Noticed in my yard small holes about 1 inch deep, and later I found out that a raccoon has been digging up grubs in my yard. Was an organic remedy and prevention for this problem. This has been a first-time occurrence for me. Thanks for your help. Actually, what he's seeing are probably things like this, and these are damaged from skunks. Skunks make holes about 1 inch or 2 inches across and about 1 inch deep, and a single skunk will make about 100 of those in one night. The raccoon actually, he likes to grab a hold of things and pull back big sheets of the turf like you're seeing on the screen, and as you can see with a foot ruler next to it, they make pretty good obvious damage associated with it. They're all feeding on white grubs, and white grubs are most organically prevented by not watering your lawn so much in the middle of the summertime. If you allow it to dry up a little bit, they'll go to your neighbor's yard who is watering, and he'll have all the problem instead of you. That's the easiest thing. There are nematodes that can be used. There are chemical insecticides as well that will take care of the grubs and not have a problem. But those of us, if you're in a suburban area, a residential area, you've got lots of wildlife coming through your yard every night, and you've just seen a couple of them and how they do a little bit of insect control for you, but unfortunately they tend to control the yard at the same time because they do not replace their divots.
I did not know that skunks were so nice and neat in their collections.
Well, just little holes.
Yeah.
Not the big tear out, roll back the carpet deal like raccoons.
Well done showing that. That's very interesting. All right, let's move on to a special Did You Know about the rose family. Peaches, pears, apricots, quinces, strawberries, and apples are members of the rose family. So are ornamental species such as spirea, mountain ash, goat's beard, and ninebark. Okay, education at all times. You've got all these educators here, so that's what we hope to do, educate and entertain. Well, let's go to the phone lines, and we're going to start first with line 3, and Bill has a question about something in the rose family, Rose of Sharon. Oh, wait, that's mallow.
Yeah,
Mallow family. Mallow family. Hey, it's close to rose. Bill, what is your question?
My question is kind of twofold. We have 5 Rose of Sharon that we planted about 15 years ago. 3 have survived. On one of them, the original flowers were pink. And last year, some of them became white. And this year, half the plant is white and half the plant is purple. I wonder what causes that. I wonder if that's a problem. And then lastly, how shall I trim them back for winter?
Okay, Rose of Sharon. Should I throw it to you, Paula?
Well, I'm wondering if the Rose of Sharons have receded and the ones that are coming back are different colors than the original plant.
It could be, because if they suckered, they would be the
yeah.
same color.
That's,
so it's,
yeah, I'm not sure.
and they will form seeds and drop.
Right.
I haven't grown any. Do you have some, Phil?
Yes, we do. The other thing associated with plants is that their genetics are a little bit different than those with animals, and that is you have a genetic abnormality in animals. They usually don't make it, whereas in plants they normally do, and so you can sometimes get what they call a sport that will show up on part of it that may go back to a different flower color or go to a different one. Climate may also have some effect. I'm not really sure if it does on Rose of Sharon or not, but these are probably reasons why you could do that. And I would assume that, although I'm not an expert in this area, that a good rule of thumb generally with a late blooming shrub such as that would be you wait to see what's made of fruit of winter before you prune in the spring.
I would think that would be a good one because it's not bothering anything in the winter.
Right.
I mean, I would leave it. So you might have seed, sports, or climate that have changed. Either way, if you like it, I would just enjoy it. Well, thank you. That was an interesting question, Bill, and we are glad that you called in. Let's go to line 4 next, and Richard has a question about turnips. Hi, Richard.
Hi. Yeah, I am a container gardener.
Yes.
And I usually plant it in the plastic pots and enjoy flowers immensely. This year I had a couple of containers about the end of July. The flowers begin to look a little droopy. So I took them out and I planted some turnips in one container. And
Good.
I planted some Brussels sprouts in the other container. And I kept them watered and in the sun, and they just did beautiful. But they're all tops. I have no fruit whatsoever on either of them. What did I do wrong?
When did
soil?
When did you plant the turnips?
Around the end of July.
Okay, you can go ahead and plant them again. They probably got too much heat at the time when they would have wanted to create a bulb. I planted turnips in September 1, and they are more tops than bases. So then I planted 3 weeks later, and I think they're going to do much better. So they just like it cool. What would you chime in on that, Paula?
I agree. The only other thing, there are turnips that have more leaf than they do. There's the purple top, and then there's another one that gets more leaves on it. So maybe he's planted.
Could be.
I think it's called 7-top, which is the one that has more greens. People actually eat them for the greens rather than the turnip.
You can eat any of them for the greens, but I like Tokyo Cross. I do the purple top, white globe.
That's a good one. Yeah.
But you want to plant them when it's going to be cool. So and you can plant just a few and then plant them 2 weeks later and see which one does the best.
Planting. Yeah.
So do your succession, but plant them when it's going to be cool. You did nothing wrong. You just planted them a little bit early. So you can go ahead and plant them now. The Tokyo Cross is 35 days, and they love cool weather. Okay, thank you, Richard. I got to go plant some more turnips. It's making me think of it. Oh, we have a creeping Charlie question. Let's go to Carol's question on line 5. Hi, Carol.
Hi. Yeah, several years ago, I noticed Creeping Charlie came into my yard via the ditch somehow. Anyway, it has now spread to quite a large area of the yard. Is the only hope that you just have to totally kill it and reseed that whole area? It's rather large. I would say it's 10 feet by 10 feet minimum, and very healthy, lush. Is there anything I can do to get rid of it?
Uh-oh, Don has a glimmer in his eye. That makes me nervous.
Of course you can just go in and round it up, and then round it up again when it comes back again. What I did at a house when I had a turf, I went out every Thursday and sprayed every one that I could see with 2,4-D, and I just walked around the yard. It was kind of a sport every day, every Thursday after teaching 3 labs for introductory plant path. I sprayed it. Eventually it went away. Mow high, that helps.
Yeah, that's what I've done in my yard. Is we've we've mowed high and essentially lost all the dandelions and creeping Charlie, except the creeping Charlie in the shade where it outcompetes the grass, but out in the sun, the grass just shaded out, and we mow at the highest height that we can put it on without the belt coming off the blade. So, you know, that's next to the highest spot on our lawnmower. And over the span of time, we've done absolutely nothing to use any herbicide or anything, but we've lost the dandelions and creeping Charlie.
It also helps prevent crabgrass too.
And your grass does better in a drought because it's got more root system.
I also would like to comment that there is a chemical out that you can use called triclopyr. It goes under another name of Terflon ester, and you put that down a couple of times, spray that out, and it will take care of the creeping Charlie. Also, I think if you were to spray doing it after the first frost, makes it absorb into the roots a little bit faster. So
and it's still active.
It's still active, yeah. It works up until, you know, the death of the plant.
Right. Okay, so there you have it. We all have it, so there you have some of the suggestions for it. Well, I want to go next to Sherry's question about bulbs, and this is line 6. Hi, Sherry.
Hi. I have a 2-gallon bucket full of daffodil and tulip bulbs that I'm not going to be able to get planted this year. How can I store them through the winter?
Well, we both have the same idea. So Paula, you start and I'll chime in.
Dig a hole and throw them in it. You could dig a hole and you would put the bulbs in, and it's called healing your plants in and just keeping them in storage. You could put them in peat moss and keep them in a cold area and replant them in the spring or when you're ready to plant them. You might not get flowers next year, but they do store.
But if you, like Paula was saying, if you store them in the bag or in an open area, they will use up all of their food reserves. Yeah. And in the spring, you'll pick them up and they will be absolutely air. So you've got to get them in contact with some kind of a medium that they can grow in. Could you put them in some potting soil and actually plant them in some pots?
Yeah,
I mean,
put them
that's
in
not
pots
digging.
For forcing. You put them in pots like you would in the ground, 3 to 4 inches deep, and chill them. And they need to have a good 12 weeks of cold to chill out so that they will grow.
But they will absolutely go to nothing if you leave them in the bag. Or you can maybe get a young neighbor to do it, or get someone to do it, because you're going to lose them if you don't put them in some kind of a contact with the soil medium.
And you can go ahead and plant them in the ground all the way up until the ground freezes. You know, even if you're planting them and digging the hole in December, they'll be okay. But
I would say tackle it maybe 10 at a time, or not do the whole 2-gallon bucket, but just a few at a time. I have some on my dining room table. That's where I put them so I don't forget. And I planted some on Monday. I'm going to plant some maybe next Monday. I don't know, but I'm going to get it planted. Okay, thank you so much for your question. Now we're going to do a few back around the table. We're going to start back with you, Don.
Well, yes, thank you. This used to be a container of my granddaughter's red juice, and I stole it, so don't tell her. But anyway, this is the way you make a yellow jacket trap. It won't wipe out the nest, but it's kind of fun to watch. You cut the top off like this, turn it upside down. They fly in, they can't fly out. Where I've used this has been when we wanted to have something out on the deck and they were coming to all the sweet stuff. This kind of keeps them baited in. Sometimes I put it around doorways and things like that. It's almost fun to watch.
And that's your granddaughter's red juice right there.
It was, yes.
I
but
see.
She's got others, and she doesn't know how to count them up for sure. So we won't tell.
So it's just a localized way to get yellow jackets. Okay. That's a nice, simple, easy one to do. Thank you, Don. Next to you, Paula.
Okay. Lady wrote in about having onions that are red, yellow, and white. They are large and firm, but when she pulls them out and cuts and slices them, some of the sections or the rings are soft and brown. What causes this, and are the rest of the onions safe to use? Yes, the onions are safe to use. You just cut the black spots off. More than likely what's going on with them is that they've got a case of bacterial root rot. and that can be caused by a number of things. If they get watered overhead, they can work the bacteria into the onion, and then it decomposes almost on the inside. If the scales are separated when you slice them open, that would be considered sour skin, and if they're water soaked, they're probably, you would call that soft rot. So my suggestion is just to watch your watering next year, rotate your crops.
Mm-hmm.
Don't rain all spring and summer.
Well, rain, yeah.
Try not to have 3 months of constant rain, but but she can eat the other parts.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. And now Phil.
A couple little comments on the yellow jacket trap. Make sure that trap is well away from where you're sitting, at least 25 feet, preferably 50 feet, because it will attract yellow jackets. It will not get rid of yellow jackets in the area. It really doesn't do much as far as eliminating colonies, but it does, as Don said, draw them off to where they're away from where you are. I've got a question about mosquitoes, and it says which plants keep mosquitoes away. I have a mosquito plant on my front porch, plus some marigolds. One of my sons told me that marigolds will keep them away. So I wonder what else will keep them away. It's always interesting to me how many things get attributed to marigolds. There are a couple types of marigolds that have been shown to mildly repel nematodes. Other than that, that's it. They actually attract insects. They would attract mosquitoes because mosquito males and females both feed on flower nectar. They would be attracted to the blossoms. Most insects are attracted to yellow or orange, which is what most marigold flowers are. Putting marigolds around your garden is fine if you like the looks of them, but if you're looking to try to repel insects, you're dreaming, okay? But there are mosquito plants, scented geraniums that have a citronella scent that have some repellent action. Generally, you have to be within 3 feet of a plant and preferably a foot of a plant. So yes, you can get some protection from mosquitoes by surrounding yourself with plants, putting one on your lap, holding one on your arm, putting one on your shoulder, putting one on top of your head. Yes, it will help. But for practicality, no. Really not all that useful. You can do like the Native American Indians did, and they sat in the smoke of their campfire. That tends to make your eyes water and probably gives you lung cancer, but you will not have mosquito problems. The most common, best way probably to avoid mosquitoes is they have to be able to, they can only fly under low wind conditions, and so putting a big good-sized fan blowing across your deck or whatever will blow the mosquitoes off course. There are, of course, repellents that can be used, but it is important to realize that. Saw a picture about a person cleaning out their gutters. We need to be concerned. We have northern house mosquitoes in high numbers right now, carrying West Nile virus. We've had 4 people die in the state of Illinois from West Nile virus this summer. And be careful when you're out. Don't let the mosquitoes bite. And the ones that are most likely to be carrying West Nile virus are short flyers, most likely growing up in your gutters, material in abandoned swimming pools, things of this nature. They're not the ones that you had all of a problem with in the spring. These are quiet biters. They sneak up and nail you, and they transmit the disease. So we do have a marginal situation as far as West Nile virus. Be aware of that.
You know, I do wear long sleeves when I garden, and I actually wear long pants. So
that helps a lot.
Sometimes I do it for sun and for mosquitoes.
Of course, mosquitoes will bite through clothing.
Yes, they will. I do know that, but it does seem to help.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to our mag quiz next, please. Which is the only coniferous tree species that can regenerate from sprouts as well as seeds? A. Jeffrey pine, B. sprouting spruce, C. redwood, D. alpine fir. C. redwood. While redwoods drop seeds, few of these seeds actually grow into trees. Most redwoods growing naturally in the forest come from sprouts that emerge from the base of the mother tree's trunk or from its roots. Okay, a little bit about redwood. Now we're going to throw it over to Don. You had a little bit more of a info.
Add another little 2 cents worth. If you're going to register for the program on October 20th, you need to have your registration completed by the 16th. As a matter of fact, I get it in there faster.
Okay. Paula, a little something about what to do right now in the garden?
Leaf removal, cleaning up your vegetable garden, getting all the old debris and anything that's dead out.
So just be aware of that and get ready for next season.
Yep.
There's never downtime because you always enjoy what else is next to come.
There's always
and
maintenance.
Of course, Phil mentioned the cleaning your gutters and things like that. So
and break for woolly bears crossing the road.
Oh.
Their lives too.
Oh,
So
Phil.
they're pretty well done feeding on the lamb's quarters. They're now moving on.
Okay, I'm so glad you put that in. That's really great. Well, thank you everyone for watching. We enjoyed having you. Have a great week gardening and cleaning up in the garden. Goodbye.